we're getting everything set up for the super special stream. And of course, RNG gods are just like, yeah, here's rain for you because rain. Sounds about right. That really does. I don't know what has happened. I want to say it was during the Latin update or the one after that, but yeah, it just seems to rain more consistently than usual. I have no idea why. Alright, hang on. Let me go into the shop so we can do the intro. Also, I gotta clean up a bit. I poorly timed my... Well, I poorly managed my time. Let me rephrase that. And yeah, I didn't get a chance to clean up to get ready for this tour. Or let me phrase that. I cleaned up some of it. I didn't get to finish the rest of it. Hey Rex, how's it going? I'm glad the interview went well. Don't be too down on yourself about that, like dead ass. Just wait and see what they gotta say at the end of the day. Don't doubt yourself, because God forbid you doubt yourself too much. But fingers crossed you get it, man. Hopefully you hear back from them soon. But let me bring this down now. Alrighty. Yeah, no, I had originally everything set out outside, and then literally I sat down, got everything set up, still beautiful weather, everything's fine, grabbed my cup. As soon as I grabbed my cup, it started raining. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And I was literally grabbing my cup to set up the timing for everybody. Stupid rain. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this started. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode, wonderful episode of Disney Dreamlight Valley. Now today's episode is wonderful episode. Usually on these particular Fridays, we do Decorating Fridays. But because we are basically done with the valley, including, by the way, this is not just the regular valley, but the valley, Eternity Island, and Storybook, all completely done. We're going to do a little tour, kind of show it off a little bit, walk around, we're going to chit-chat, talk, we're going to do some Dream Snap voting, and, you know, just see how long it takes us to get through the day. Nothing too crazy, but let me check Scrooge's shop, because I haven't got a chance to check Scrooge's shop. And I do apologize for being crappy with my time management today. Ain't that right, my sweet boy Max? Right, come here, my sweet boy Max. Alright, so if a lot of y'all were around for when I started doing my initial build, I want to say this pause has been like this for a good few months, but mainly I wanted to go with a more... What's the word I'm looking for? Kind of 19th century vibe with the pathways. A very classy kind of town square vibes.
This valley is
I like it though. I think it turned out extremely cute. Especially the fountain. The fountain's actually one of my favorite centerpieces I did. Unfortunately, what really sucks though is that it only works when you hit a button. Now, this little section was one of my favorite little areas to work on, mainly because I like having my go-to stuff right here in the middle. It makes everything so much convenient, especially if you're like over there by the Forest of Valor, or over there by Sunlit Plateau. It's right here in the middle, but I didn't want to put it straight in the middle because, again, I want to make this still feel like a, you know, a town center.
Gotta say,
over here we have the Beast's little floor arrangement. Kind of combined it with the library because A, it looks stunning. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, like this is really, really cute. But to be honest, I'm not quite sure where to put Beast's little garden thing at because it's definitely beautiful. Don't get me wrong, it's beautiful, but you can't really put it anywhere else but the valley. So that took away my idea of me transferring it over to Storybook and then putting it over there. So I wound up just doing this, you know, something cute, simple. To recognize this angle, I used it for one of my Dream Snap photos a while back. But I really like the way the whole little garden flower section turned out, especially with it being combined with the library. Super cute.
Ooh, okay. What is happening today, everybody?
And then we had this little section, which became very popular on Reddit. And when I mean this little section became very popular on Reddit, I don't mean mine. I mean the setup, where we put the whole kind of catty corner buildings together. I like it. I really do. It does save a lot of space. Especially when you're trying to put a lot of detail in these areas, which is something I always pride myself on when it comes to, decorating around my valley. It's a lot of detail, man. Detail, detail, detail. But I think Remy's whole little restaurant looks pretty good. It's definitely different compared to some of the other ones I have, but I really, really, really like this one. I'm gonna be honest, it's the fencing for me. It's the fencing. And then, of course, we have just a few little odds and ends. My wild little billboard. Of course, our parked cars. Don't ask me why the train thingy's here. I didn't know exactly what to do with it, and I was just like, well, I need more vehicles, so why the hell not? Why the hell not? But personally, this is one of my favorite iterations of the plaza I've done, mainly because of this pathway. This pathway really makes it stand out compared to some of the other sections in the valley. I really appreciate it. Hang on, but you will really appreciate, that's what I was trying to say, you will really appreciate it at night. Most of my stuff looks really, really good at night. Why do I always miss that? And see, at night it's just stunning, it's beautiful. Again, I really wish you didn't have to push a button. Well, it's just very beautiful at night, very kind of whimsical. That's the word I'm looking for, whimsical. Street whimsy, that's it. Urban whimsy, there we go, that's even better. But yeah, no, personally, I like it at night. It's one of my favorite areas to hang out at night because of how beautiful it is. And also because the villagers love to hang out around the plaza. So it feels like the most liveliest section in my valley.
Mulan sure seems happy here.
I hope she's happy here, Mushu. But yes, this is our plaza. I think it turned out extremely cute and well over the few months we've been working on it. Technically, I think this actually only took me about 2 weeks. Mainly because of the pathway. That was about it. But overall, I like it. I like it. We still have our little section over here to let sunflowers and stuff grow. But overall, one of my favorite iterations of the plaza I've done. And they still haven't fixed the timing, have they? Well, let's move over this way now to Forest of Valor. We're doing, how do I usually do it? I think I usually do it counterclockwise, and we'll do it clockwise this time, or something like that. We'll do the opposite of how I usually do it, okay? Alright, now the Forest of Valor has always been one of my favorite sections to work on. I'm not even gonna lie. I will be honest, the Plaza, Forest of Valor, and the Forgotten Lands are my 3 favorite areas to work on. Don't get me wrong, I take a lot of pride in my Dazzling Beach, but I like the feel and the vibe of these 3 areas. The Plaza, of course, being that is the first thing you usually would see if you would come into somebody's valley, if you had the whole little teleporter thing, or if you're using logic, you come visit somebody, you think you would open or start here at the opening, but we had a little weird teleporter thing in the plaza, not in the plaza, in the meadow. But I digress. Point is, I love working on these 3 areas because of the vibe here. This is why my house is over here, but this is kind of a newer iteration. I just did this one not too long ago. I think it was right after the Alice in Wonderland. Yeah, I started reworking it for the hat. I'm sorry, this hat was super cute. I had to get it. It was super adorable. But we got all the comforts of home right out here. Got a beautiful little cooking station. Of course, my bestest buddies. Got my time bending station, my crafting station, my go-to all chest for my food. And of course over here we have the uncrafting machine and my little chill out section, which is where I was going to start the video, but then, you know, rain. And then of course I have me a cute little gazebo, just to tie in the rest of my front yard. I think it looks super cute though. It's one of my favorite versions of my house layout I've done. Trust me, I've done quite a few of these, but I like the feel of this one. Then over here we have our little Easter setup that we did a while ago. At some point I do plan on moving this somewhere else, probably towards Wally or something. I mean, it's cute, but Easter's over. And of course this has been a staple here for a good minute. I don't know why. This just turned out super beautiful and I've never changed it since. Mainly I want to say the setup, you know. But with the new pathways now, I may change this up so I give myself maybe something a little bit more of a circle feel. And also I could take this to the storybook. Actually, it may look good in Mythopolis. We'll just have to see. But we have our favorite little Cheshire Cat buddy. Yeah, I would have invited you to this valet tour, but you have a bad habit of just disappearing on me. Like, seriously, you ever try to have a conversation with that man? Just be talking away, yammering away, you turn around, boom, he's gone. You're like, what the hell, man? When did you leave? About 20 minutes ago. We just started hanging out 22 minutes ago. But I digress. We got this little area over here. I'm not 100% satisfied with this. I mainly set this up for the, what was it? It was what's the name of that freaking holiday? St. Patrick's Day. There it is. I don't know why that escaped me. St. Patrick's Day. I set this up for St. Patrick's Day. Because remember, I had a whole bunch of the 4-leaf clovers right around here. And we have our unhappy birthday party. My Alice in Wonderland section, which I really love this section. I took a lot of pride in this. Probably a bit more pride than I should, but it turned out super cute. Like, it is one of my favorite sections. It truly is one of my favorite sections. Ain't that right, Merlin? And then, of course, one of my other favorite sections is my Winnie the Pooh area. Absolutely love this little area. I wanted to do a full, like, 100 Acre Woods thing. Like, that was my original idea. But then when I realized we didn't really have that many pieces for Winnie the Pooh, I kind of scrapped that idea. So I just may get rid of this and just keep the one I have over at Storybook with Wally because it's super cute over there. But I may do a little tweaking and stuff like that. And then, of course, we have our Elsa section. To be frank, this is a very difficult section for me to work with because of the fact that her house, A, doesn't move, and B, it's right here next to the bridge. So I feel like if I block this off, you gotta go around, which, you know, it's very aggravating, especially when you're like trying to dig something up or do something, and then whoop, right over the fence that coin goes. The amount of times that has happened. So of course I had to do a little bit of an opening. But then, you know, I started asking my question, well, how do I want to do it? Do I want to do the opening here? Do I want to do it towards the pathway? And yeah, it took a little bit more time than I wanted, mainly because of another thing. That glitch happened. That freaking glitch happened. I remember, I'm still haunted by this glitch. So, I was in the process, about 30 to 45 minutes of just working hard on this section. Put this down, these down, the balloons down, all this situated. Put this entire pathway down. Went like this, none of it saved. None of it. The 45 minutes I just spent decorating, gone in a snap. I was so mad. I quit. I rage quit. Eric looked at me, which is like, how can you rage quit a cozy game? I'm like, I don't know, but I just did. But yeah, this is a very cute section though. I really wish we had some more kind of frozen pieces. As weird as that sounds. Like dead ass, because we do have a lot, but I really wish we did have a bit more, so I can add a little pizzazz factor here. But let's move to the forest, not the forest, to Frosty Heights now. Trust me, this place looks good in daytime or nighttime. But if y'all do want to see it at night, very bright. I will say though, there is one downfall to this section. The balloons. Oh, sorry, not the balloons. I got Ben and Nikki stuck in my head. Yeah, no, the bubbles. The bubbles. You can't walk underneath the bubbles. Oh yeah, this whole little section, daytime or nighttime, it is so beautiful. Because so many colors and so bright and vivid. Now, speaking of bright and vivid, though, you know, Frosty Heights, it's definitely there. It's definitely there. Right, though, it's very, very blue. I'm not gonna lie, I went a little crazy with the blue. But hang on, let me turn the lights on. Ah! Why are you doing this, analog stick? Do I need to replace you? My analog stick's been acting weird all day today. Well, let's start over here. So, of course I had to put this here. Like, I'm gonna be honest, when it comes to a lot of the theming over here, it has to be here because it has to be here. There's no other place it would look good at. So, yeah, you'll see a lot of snowy lodges and castles just because. But mainly, this is the little section I'm proud of the most. My combination house with Anna and Kristoff's house with the cute little winter dream castle. This one turned out extremely cute. I love a little shared yard. I've been trying to get my cute little shared yard for a good minute, and this is like the best I've done. But hell, y'all know working over here is a pain in the ass to how small the section is. And then we got our little gazebo here. Lovely little seating section. Our snowman building contest. And by snowman building contest, I mean the snowman are building. Was it creative? Not really. But did it fill in that area? Absolutely. Then we got this. I didn't go too crazy with this yard, mainly because I had to leave a little space open to get back there, and also for some of the icicles to kind of form in. Because it's one of those things, unfortunately, if I didn't let them spawn in here, they would have forced themselves over here in smaller clusters, and you can see I'm trying to get around that, but again, small clusters. That's how they get me every time. They come back with a vengeance with those small clusters. And then, of course, we have our little snowy marketplace here. One of my favorite areas. Unfortunately, I kind of ruined myself with this damn pond because I put it out of sight, out of mind. Because seriously, like, you're walking this way, you wouldn't really notice it. And also, I don't come up here all too terribly often. You think I would, with how much detail and love I put in these sections, but nah, there's really no point in me coming up here, so I kind of forget about this spot. But I think this turned out extremely cute with the snowy market. I originally want to put this on the floating island, but then when I realized it wasn't big enough, I just, you know, decided to put it down here. That's why we have a bit of a combination of like a typical snowy village and mystic forest over here. Because it's just not enough furniture pieces on either side. And I wish we could move Elsa's house, because we could move Elsa's house from down here to up here. I could have done a full whole Enchanted Forest vibe. But unfortunately, we don't have that much pieces, and we can't unfortunately move any houses yet. Maybe one day in the future they'll allow us to move to permanent houses. At least that's my prayer. But let's move on now to the Dazzling Beach, which even though, even though, even though there's a lot of detail, a lot of fine detail, still not one of my favorite sections to hang out in. It's gorgeous, don't get me wrong. But again, Forest Valor, the Plaza, Forgotten Land. Plaza because of how lively it feels. Forest of Valor because of how beautiful it is. The Forgotten Area because it hits that spooky vibe I love so much. Don't get me wrong, I love beach vibes, but my family lives in Florida, so I get to see the beaches several times a year. But it is very cute. It's very cute. We have our lovely little beach house. Used to have a really kick-ass beach house inside, but I got rid of that. I need to work on that. Then we have Eric's yard, which I'm gonna be honest, his house has not moved from the spot since I put it here. Like, maybe slightly over or something, but yeah, ever since I've opened this area and made his house, it's just been in this area here. It gets me thinking, maybe I should, start experimenting, putting him somewhere else. And then we have our lovely little coffee shop, which I went full detail with a lot of seating. Ooh, marshmallow. Unfortunately, I think the only drawback I have here is it's not very open. I have everything kind of fenced in. Yes, there's a lot of in and outs, but it's very fenced in and blocked. Like, you can't just walk around. Hey, sis, looks like I brought you home, by the way. You want to go inside? You want to keep doing this with me? Yeah, I love his little yard. I take a little bit of pride in his yard. Mainly, I need to rework this a little bit. I had originally planned to do something really nice with the red countertops, but I want to say these little shelving units are a little bit shorter than them, so it wasn't working out properly. Either that or just didn't have the space, one of the two. And then we have Peter's house back there, looking all lost and shit. That's on purpose. That is on purpose. And we have the back of Eric's house. He has a beautiful backyard. Absolutely loves this little backyard. And so does Peter Pan, apparently.
Flying is swell. You should try it.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to understand his logic here. The man can float. The man can float. Why sit down? Okay, well, who's he showing off to? But yeah, that's Eric's beautiful backyard. And then we have our little sushi restaurant over here. It's kind of tucked away in the corner a little bit. I feel like I put a lot of areas kind of bunched in together. I like it, but then I don't at the same time. Because there's a lot going on, but yet not enough room to take pictures, if that makes sense. But speaking of a lot going on, we have our marketplace, which I took a lot of pride in to make sure it looks functional and nice and very movable. And then, of course, we have Eric's ship and Ariel's house. Ariel's house is back here because, A, I wanted to get away from over there, and B, I still needed to be able to walk up to her house.
Oh, I'm
Because
hoping
one of those, you never know. You never know. I
I
happened
can
to
be
see
part of
a little bit of the blue when I was walking around. For a second, I thought it was one of those things. But yeah, I'm super proud of the way my little market area turned out. Very cute. And we have this little restaurant area here. Nothing too fancy, just another little hangout area. Of course. Mass, do you mind? But of course we have our lovely beach towel setup because no beach section is complete without having at least some tanning areas. And then we have this little house here. Super cute, very simple. Ah, so this is where all my tea stuff, let me grab that. I've been looking for this. Like, dead ass, I've been looking for this. And then, of course, we have this here, which I like it because it's out of mind, out of sight, but I don't because it's also very cramped. I really need to rework this section and make it not as cramped and maybe air out some section because it feels very boxed in, you know? But, hang on a second. Let's take a look at it at night. Alrighty, come on, Stitch. Yeah, no, it's super beautiful at night, super beautiful. Because of all the bright, let's be frank, neon colors here. I went a little crazy with all the bright colors. Well, lots of blues, lots of pinks. But I think it's a very well transition from up here, and then you're going up to the Valor, to the Frosty Heights. It's like, it's a nice color change, especially at night, you can see. And then we got blue, like bluish white up there. But yeah, bluish white, green, then blue. That was basically my idea when I started lighting up this section. I want to have a really nice transition for some reason. Don't ask me why. But I try to also spread out a few more different colors. Some red kind of splashed in here and there. But the main color is blue. I'm a sucker for blue. Alright, let's turn some lights back on and head over to our meadow. Now, our meadow, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not like super satisfied with it. I like it, I do. I really do like it. But it just feels so bare because a lot of stuff is over there. And, you know, we got a few little clumps here, but it feels too spread out. It's too open. This has the opposite problem that the Dazzling Beach had. This is too open. Well, don't get me wrong, this is nice, but I feel like there's a lot of space for her, and no one really comes over here, except for you, Rapunzel. But then we have this little section here for my online guests who decided to show up. Which there's been a few people who's come by, nothing too crazy. Gave a few little stuff.
You should try it sometime.
But unfortunately, I had like a lot of marshmallows left over. So somebody on the Reddit page was just like, anybody got some marshmallows they can spare? I'm like, I got you, boo. I got you. Come on. What happens when you hoard marshmallow stuff from last year? Anyway. Damn you, Pog. We got Donald's house here. I think it's super cute. I had to push his house back a little bit during the event for the purple ripples back here because for some reason it chose right underneath his boat. I don't know why. But his yard's super cute. We have our centerpiece right here, of course, which is one of my favorite centerpieces because it's so beautiful. And I like the concept and the idea of it, where it's silver with a little bit of color painted on it. It's really nice. My only problem is, though, a little bit of a tight squeeze. But speaking of tight squeeze, we have our open wide movie theater, which I really love. I wish we could play real movies, though. That would be super cute. Just plug in a movie, sit down and watch it with your friends. But then we have our Goofy section here. Alright, technically this is our picnic area going to Goofy section. Which I really like this area. But here's our Goofy section. He's got a pretty little yard. Gave him his little stall right here, so you know he could just quickly come out of his house and serve me. And we have our Toontown areas. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know what to do with a lot of this Toontown stuff. I originally was trying to do a full Toontown vibe, but again we hit the same dilemma that we've been hitting a lot of the times. We don't have enough pieces. Like, we have some good pieces, we don't have enough pieces. So I think I did the best I could with this. I think it's super cute. But the cherry on top, though, in this section
Grimsby about
is
this place.
this.
He's
I
never gonna
love
believe
Mickey and Minnie's place. I always take pride. I don't know why. It's not like I'm obsessed with Mickey or Minnie anything. It's just they have so many good pieces to use. And I love giving them a beautiful little yard. But Minnie, she's got a little simple setup back here with her flowers and Figaro's yard. Oh yeah, I forgot. I planted a whole bunch of wheat. I was preparing myself with the cupcakes, and then I realized I didn't need them. Not the cupcakes, the s'mores. And I didn't realize I didn't need that many s'mores. But anyway, this is like my crowning achievement. This little part here, I absolutely love this part because at night it is gorgeous. Hang on a second. Absolutely beautiful. It's kind of hard to tell because, you know, fog. But it is beautiful. These flowers really add that factor I'm always looking for. Got just a little bit of light back here. Overall, I do like my meadow. I think it's cute. It's very simple. It's still a little too much airiness going on, though. It's too bare over here. There's a lot of beautifulness happening over here. It's too bare over here. And it just boils down to we don't have a lot of pieces for specifically for both Donald, Daisy, Goofy, the tunes themselves. We have a lot of pieces for Mickey and Minnie, just not as a tune. But overall, though, it's super cute. Absolutely love it. Damn you, Marshmallow. Are you eating on the job, sir? Damn it. Damn it. Homie, you're not eating on the job. Alright, you can eat on your break time. There we go. I wasn't expecting that much trouble. But yes, overall, super cute. Absolutely love it. But let's move on to one of my other favorite sections. Not to hang out in, but one of the favorite sections I decorated. Which is the Glades of Trust. Hey, Peter, again.
Gee, it sure is
I
nice
love
here.
it because I went full Louisiana vibes back here. This is where I put all the Victorian houses, where I put Tatiana. This is just where it reminds me of home. So we have a little stage set up right here. Very beautiful. Very simple. And we have our creepy graveyard. Because every Louisiana house needs a house with a creepy graveyard. We don't know why. It's just mandatory. Let's continue over here. Of course, we have my gossip section here. Nothing too crazy or fancy. I gypped her. I'm not even gonna lie. I gypped her 100% and gave her absolutely nothing this time around. A few times I tried to be nice and give her a yard, but then every time we hit a quest line, she just made me destroy it. She made me destroy it, so I'm like, you know what? You don't deserve a new yard. You don't deserve a nice yard. So she gets no yard. But this is a nice yard, though, and I really love this little section here. Super cute. Also, the little details of the grapevine, just love it. As you see, we have our beautiful little train tracks going around for our trolley. And back here we have our Tatiana's restaurant. She has a beautiful outdoor eating area. We have our cute little bayou house, super adorable. A little waiting area. And then we have our first Victorian house. Unfortunately, there is no yard. I thought about giving it a yard, but then that's a very small yard to work with, and I was just like, it would just be better as a walk-through area. Our second Victoria house, which this one actually has a yard. And the difference is the sizing, as you can see. This one's a little bit bigger than this one. But the yard's super cute, though. I like it. It feels very home. It kind of reminds me of my Uncle Terry's house. Then Tatiana, she has a beautiful little setup here. I gave her a little bit more food during that one photo shoot. But yeah, she's always talking about feeding everybody and taking care of everybody, so gave her a nice little yard so she can accomplish that. And then we got our steamboat Willie boat back here. And then our little courtyard area. There's something lovely, something beautiful. And you can see back here, it is just gorgeous with the lighting. You can see what is one of my favorite sections I decorate, because the lighting is just so beautiful. It feels like a city. It feels like I just like walked to a different era. I love it. Except you, Mother Gothel. I don't love you. My personal beef with her still comes from the fact that, yeah, no, I did make a yard for her, and then one of the quest lines, they were just like, yeah, I'm gonna need you to make more of a yard than what you have. And I'm just like, bitch, you live at a theme park. What the hell? Because at the time, I had the theme park around her. But yes, this is one of my favorite sections of all time that I decorated. It's so beautiful back here. Now let's move up to the Sunlit Plateau. The Sunlit Plateau, I like the way this all turned out. Like, it turned out super adorable. So, of course, we have our hyena area, which is a good transition going into the Forgotten Land. You know, it's very dark and mysterious. And also, I can allow these little things to grow here, and it doesn't instantly ruin the shot. Like, it actually looks pretty good. Compared to, say, like, these. But these are out of mind, out of sight kind of things. But let's do a Yui. We have our minecart section, which I was inspired by the Seven Dwarfs. Conveniently, at the exact same time Snow White was coming out. No, I did not go see that movie. No, I don't care to see that movie. It was just conveniently at the exact same time the idea popped in my head. I'm pretty sure, though, I was influenced because of all the marketing. But I like it. I like it. I think it turned out super cute. Especially the table. The table's one of my favorite little elements I did here. Love it. But then we have Scar's section here, which I took pride in his house. He definitely needed something cute, and it looks good. Photogenically, it looks great. Absolutely. My only complaint is this. I don't know why, but several updates ago, this light just doesn't work. You have to manually turn it on and off all the time now. It does not work. It does not come on with the other lights. I don't know why. It's just every other light. They fixed that issue where it actually comes on properly. This one is the only one it doesn't work on. That's my only complaint. So Gameloft, please fix that light. I know it's a small, minute problem, but please fix that light. Then we have Simba's section. I gave them a luscious yard. Got a little mud pit for Timon and Pumbaa, a little area for Nala, a little area for me. And then of course all back here, just a little chill vibe, you know, nothing too crazy. A lot of cool matatas back here. And then over here is my orchard. Hang on. This up on this one. Of course I did. But we have our beautiful orchard. Got a lush little waterfall starting our fencing, going all the way around. We have a lovely little seating section here, and a crafting station. Love the little details on the tables, always my favorites. Love the way I put this whole orchard out, to be frank. Like, out of all the orchards I've done, this is my favorite iteration I've completed, because it's just, it looks stunning, it looks great, it looks complete. I just really wish these lights would work. Well, this looks beautiful, and it looks great with Wally's garden back here. It's always been a pain trying to work with this, being that you can't put the fencing all the way around this area for some reason. I don't know why, just the placement won't let you do it. So trying to make this look good and complete is a pain. But overall, definitely one of my favorite iterations of my orchard. I say, you can clean that up, Max. You clean that up. Now let us take a gander at this at night. Probably won't make much of a difference because of the lights. What I mean by that is these work, but like I said earlier, the other ones don't. But you see how beautiful this area here is, especially with all the glowing gems and stuff. Granted, they're not like shining glowing, but the color just vividly pops over here. And of course, you know, this green fencing here is just beautiful. And then let me show y'all over here. Let me turn all the lights on, so I can see kind of why I did this. Because I originally had this set up before the light situation got out of hand. So at one point it was working. Alright, there we go. Oh yeah, you see, like, that just looks nice. Looks visually stunning. Beautiful. To be frank, I don't really know if there's really anything I could do to improve Sunlit Plateau even more than what it already is. This is like my favorite iteration of Sunlit Plateau that I've done, because it's kind of challenging to work over here, being that only a few houses really look good. It's oh god, what's the word I'm looking for? Aesthetically, there it is. Aesthetically looks good. So I think with what we got to work with, it looks stunning. It looks beautiful. Alright, now let's move on to the Forgotten Lands. Which is right up here. Now, I will say I take pride in this area because of the spooky vibes. Well, we have our Thorny Dark Castle, which I'm probably going to give to Forgotten at some point because she deserves a nice house. Even though she's kind of living with me and I have all the room in the world, I want to give her her own house. But she's got a cute little yard, nothing too crazy. Most of the detail comes from a lot of the pots I threw around. But then we have this section here, which if I change this to green, and then when we turn the lights off, you can see why I love this section. Oh, we have our table reading area, which very cute. I kind of like the idea of it, but I really wish I could give it like a canopy or something to cover it, to give it a gypsy vibe, you know. But we have our, oh shit, we have our, I'm about to call it Monsters Inc. house. What the hell, man? What the hell? No, we have our Haunted Mansion Christmas house. I don't know why I got Monsters Inc. on the brain. Probably because I watched that scene earlier where Sully thought Boo got crushed by all the things and he was overreacting with his facial expressions and then passed out. And then he wound up carrying a block of trash around thinking he was Boo. Sorry, I don't know why. That scene just popped up on my shorts and I had to watch it twice. That shit always gets me. But I digress. Point is, we have this beautiful little market section here. Very beautiful. We have our center pumpkin piece, which is kind of more like Halloween Town vibes, which is what I was going for. We have our graveyard, our official graveyard. Very creepy, cute with our spectral ghosts. And then our witch's hut, which doesn't really have much of a yard. I started running out of room at this point. We have our Nightmare Before Christmas area, which I love this area. I really do. It's super fabulous. Plus, I have like 120 pumpkins I'm very proud of. And then, of course, back here we have our wonderful Nightmare Before Christmas hill. I love this little section. I'm trying to give a bit of the vibe of when you walk back there through the forest. But yeah, no, I love the way this all turned out. Super adorable. And at night, it's even better. Hang on. Whoops, wrong way. And as you can see, it is beautiful. Stunning. And with that new added extra glowy Night of Thorns coming out of the ground, it looks even creepier. When they're put right, by the way. I have to add that. See, like back here, you know, there's one there, looks good, but when it's on the road, not so much. Oh yeah, this little area is super cute, super adorable. And then here. This is why I like this area.
Ursula from taking control of
So
this valley.
green, it's so beautiful. But yep, that is basically all the valley right there. The valley is beautiful though. I'm glad we got it done looking all nice. I can't wait to actually restart again so I can, you know, start messing with some of the newer stuff, like the curved pathways. Like dead ass, those curved pathways. Well, let's go ahead and move over to and turn the island now. But I enjoy the way the valley has turned out. I think a lot of it looks amazing. It looks good. It's sharp. It's clean. It's crisp. Other sections, like I said, I gotta rework them. But you know, this is one iteration out of like thousands of iterations I can do and will do. But let's start our valley tour up here by my house. And then we'll make our way down and shit.
Gorge! Look at all the great stuff I got.
So here we have my little yard section. I gave it up here. I gave me this little section up here. Let me rephrase that. Because of how small it is. And it fits me quite well. It gives me everything I need. My instant teleportation. My little hangout area. And then, of course, my house with all the utensils I need. I have more of the cooking stations over here than I do anywhere else. But yeah, this little section definitely does exactly what I need. It's like a little vacation home. And down here we have our Remy restaurant. You see it is very different compared to the one on the valley. Oh, clean this up. Always one. It's a little bit more smaller, a little bit more elegant, not as pure elegancy like we have the one in the valley, but this one's cute. Especially when I added this little area here where you can get your snacks and your drinks and beverages and whatnot. And then my little orchard here, which is cute. Mainly the thing I'm proud of is all 100 and some odd glowy flowers I have here. Absolutely love my little glowy flowers. It was cute, and it definitely filled in the area. I'm not even going to deny that. Then over here we have our Scrooge shop, which I gave him kind of like a yard sale where this was like extra furniture I had that I didn't know what to do with, and I wanted to fill in this area just a little bit, so I was like, why not? A clearance sale. And then over here we have, of course, our little tiny market area. But I think this one turned out is super cute. And then down here we have our Maui Moana Resort, as I like to call it. Because it feels very much like a resort. But we have several hangout sections, tanning bed sections. We have Hey Hey's house. We have a monument and eating area to Maui, because Maui is Maui. So cooking station, Maui's house. Oh dear God, I did not even see this. I missed this in my initial cleanup. But this is why I call it the resort, though, because I gave them this whole little thing right here. I don't know why. It just fits well. It looks good. I like it. So, yes, this is why it wound up becoming a resort. Just because of this section here. But we have a little secret hideaway back there. Nothing too crazy. Then over here we have our pirate island, which you were here about a week or two ago. I was over here taking a photo. Very cute, though. Absolutely love this. Let me clean this up. Whoops. Well, absolutely love this. I didn't know what to do with this tiny little section here. Originally, we had Maui and Moana sharing this area, but I thought they deserved a bigger spot, so I gave them this. I might change it again or something. I'm thinking about moving the marketplace from the Dazzling Beach over here. I'm thinking of some serious rehauling value, at least on Eternity Island. But I digress. Let's continue on. Again, I'm speaking all future plans here, you know, again, ideas for the future of decorating. Now here, I feel very confident about this section. This is basically Vanellope's racetrack. Very simple racetrack, nothing too crazy. I may rework this to give it more of a rounder feel instead of a square feel. I don't know how that would work over here in this section though. We'll just have to see. Oh, we got like our pit stop. We have our winning circles and an area where you can sit down and cheer and stuff like that. And then, of course, we have our actual stadium area where you sit down and watch the race and you get your food and stuff. And, of course, Vanellope's house. And then all the vehicles, which I need to add a couple of the newer ones from Storybook. But let me change. Tonight, so y'all can see that full area. But you can see, definitely beautiful. Definitely beautiful over here. Gotta see with the purple lighting. The purple lighting really just makes it over here. Fits very well with her little candy vibe and stuff like that. Oh, I'm out of go-go juice. Okay. I really didn't get to show y'all how it looked up here, but let me run up here. Now see, at night it is beautiful because about right here you can see all the glowy flowers. And then, let me get around this damn thing. You can just see how bright and vivid it is down here. Just by looking at it from up here, it is gorgeous. Very cute though. Come on, Max. A little bit of color just to kind of make things stand out just a bit over here. Especially since I used a lot of blue yet again. Lots of blues yet again. I'm not saying I have a thing for blues, people, but I got a thing for the blues. You can see how wonderful this little area is at night.
Just the bee's knees.
Ain't that right, Tatiana? It's definitely the bee's knees. And of course, Pirate Island looks alright. And especially if you're walking past the Fountain of Youth, looks cute. Mainly it's all just candle lit, so it's not like, oh my god, sparkly. But you know, it's nice, very cute. But change times. Alright, and let's do a little bit of fast travel to the plains, and we'll continue up over there. Oh, thank you, Max. Thank you very, very much. Alright, so I love what we done over here, especially once we got some more pieces from Aladdin. This place really fell into place. So we have like our outskirts, desert area. I kind of gave it a creepy vibe, mainly because I didn't know how else to really fill in this area. I tried several different things, and this was the only thing that really looked good coming up. And then we have like an evil villain section here. A lot of the Emperor's New Groove stuff. But we have, just some cute vibes here. Cute and creepy vibes, I should say. And then we have this little, like, evil scientist lab here. And then, of course, Jafar's house. I gave him, like, a full yard. I don't know why. But he gets a full yard. He looks... Alright, let me phrase that. It looks good. Very solid. Very nice. Then we have another little villain section with Ursula's Jamboree, as I like to call it. Got a little hangout area where y'all can drink and stuff. Evil potions, turn people into frogs. Get your groove on. And then we have a desert output here. Just a cute little simple oasis yard. Another little oasis. And guess what? Another little oasis. So many little oases. This one's my favorite. Even though this one's more of a newer add-on, this is definitely one of my favorite oasis. Because it looks like an oasis. It looks great. And then we have our Ekaba Marketplace. Which I absolutely love the way this turned out. It's all the little details on the shelf that I love, to be frank. That's a little detail, selling little honey pots, treasure chests, the works. And of course, Aladdin's yard, or Aladdin and Jasmine's yard. Yeah, this one was a little tricky because I wanted some more of this fencing here, but the problem is those fuchsia poppies are extremely rare. Like there's only 2 that spawn in every hour or so, maybe every hour and a half. So I kind of gave up on that and was just like, you know what? How about Bumblestone? I like Bumblestone. So maybe I may rework this so they can have a full-on proper fencing, but it's the best I could do for what I had. I think it turned out extremely cute though, especially for Aladdin and Jasmine's house. Super adorable. But then we have the rest of the marketplace over here. We have our Trinks and Trinkets.
Let me know where I can rustle up some grubs, would ya?
Not here at the Trinks and Trinkets shop. We have our rug shop. And figurines. I didn't know what else to put back here, so I put figurines. Of course, we have a little restaurant with our well here. And it's less of a restaurant, more of like a tea shop, And then, of course, we have this little reading nook here. And then last but not least, our oasis. Our actual oasis. So this is like my go-to section over here. Very cute. I had to put a whole bunch of these flowers here mainly because of the fact that those stupid little things kept spawning up here, and I mean like a bunch of them. Like I had a big one here, one here, and like 2 small ones around here. I got fed up with it, so I was like, here, roll around this. Haven't had a problem since. So I'm gonna be honest, love this little section because of that. Love it, absolutely love it. Great. I probably should put some flowers over here. But, I think it still looks cute. It still looks cute. And then we have some more of the retreat section. I love the way this turned out. Even though my original idea was mainly due because of that one picture, this turned out extremely well, though. I love it. Absolutely love it. Let me show y'all what it looks like at night. Yeah, the Oasis is definitely a different vibe at night. Granted, all the Glittering Dunes is a different vibe at night. You see how like whimsical and magical it is. And here it's just very nice. Feels like a closed shop and like an actual marketplace that shut down at night. I love the vibe. I think it's those red lights I gave it. Then of course their yard is just beautiful, especially with the little tangled lights right here, right above the fountain pieces. Absolutely love it. And this is fantastic. Just that bit of light right there in the middle, superb. And then here is again lots of blues. Now I'm not gonna get too used to this section, mainly because I'm thinking about moving all of this. I'm talking about this, or maybe not necessarily this, but this, all of this, to another area to make my evil villain section. Now that we can move Ursula's house properly and put it on water, I can now actually make an official evil villain section. And with all the other villains that have stationary houses like Jafar, I'll give them the substitute houses, basically. But yeah, no, the green lighting really makes it feel like an evil villain section, especially with all the glowing potions and stuff like that. I like it though. I like it. I think it turned out extremely cute. A lot better than what it did look like. Originally, it was pretty bare. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't have really much going on with it for a good minute. But overall, I think it turned out extremely cute. But now let's move over to this section here. This is basically where I put my theme park. Now, I don't know how all this is going to cooperate with the lighting, being that we're having that issue up there by the Ferris wheel. But we have our main entrance. You come in, you get your tickets, you wait in line. You can even sit down, take a picture with Walt Disney if you want. And you can come through here. You have your rides, a bunch of rides. And then our little photo booth section. You can get some pretzels, some more rides and go-to things. I have no idea where half of this shit's off. Usually all this shit's on. I guess because the Valley Tour, it's just like, no, we gotta act a fool now. We gotta act a fool. But very cute little area. And then let's go down here to my Alice in Wonderland Labyrinth. Very proud of the way this turned out. It's very adorable. I was about to say super cute, but I feel like I've been throwing that word around a lot today. Because it is super cute. But we have this little picnic area. Originally, I wanted something mainly for Alice in Wonderland's Mad Hatter Tea Set Party. That's just why I made this whole labyrinth. And then conveniently enough, Storybook dropped with an actual section for Alice in Wonderland. So I may just move this to the Alice in Wonderland section at some point. Now I'm thinking of just removing all of the whole theme park I have. But again, that's future problems. Anyway, we have our little reading nook over here. A little quiet pondering section. Another little picnic area where you can sit down. And then up here we have more rides. More food carts. And don't worry, I haven't forgotten about those other sections yet. I just figured we can make our way around that way. And then we have our up rides. This up. And then of course our twisty little teapot and Ferris wheel rides. Again, I really went ham when it came to the theme park section. I
Fella could
wanted
get
it
used
to
to a place
feel
like this.
like a theme park, but my problem is theming. The tropical rainforest does not work well with the theming of this park. So again, that's why I'm thinking of just moving sections. I'm debating though, I'm debating. And of course back here we have our oh god. River Journey? Is that it? Shit, what's the name of that boat? What's the name of that boat? Jungle Cruise, that's it. Jungle Cruise. I sit there and think about that for a second. I was like, no, it's not Navi's River Journey because that's from Avatar. But then we have this section here, which is our higher balloon areas. Another little eating place. And you can watch a concert at the same time. Another little eating place. And yes, I made Maribel's house an eating place. And then, of course, we have just this little hangout section here. I didn't really know what to do over here. I just knew this was a big enough area to fill in with her house, but I just didn't know what to do. So I wound up just making like a restaurant area where there's a couple of different restaurants here, live music and entertainment. And yeah, that's that. I mean, that's literally the best I could do here.
You know, this village ain't half bad.
And then up here, we have, as I like to call it, the daycare section, where you can bring in your screaming toddlers. They can be entertained while you go out and try to have some fun. And hell, just to make sure that they have some fun, we can hop them up on a whole bunch of candy and sweets. Oh yeah, no, I love this little area. It was super cute. It was one of my favorite ideas I came up with. And then we have our arcade section. The only place I could really think about putting Woody's house. Right next to the arcade section. It fit. It really did. But let's take a look at it at night. And you can just see how beautiful it is. But I like where I wound up putting this. It's definitely a lot more spread out than what it was originally, because I had it at the Glacier Trust for a good minute. I'm not gonna lie, I was there for a good minute. But, you know, more rods got added, more furniture pieces got added. I had to find a bigger section, and at the time, this was the only section I could think of that it would really look good at. And at the time, I was satisfied. Now we have Storybook, I'm no longer satisfied. So it must be changed. It's still beautiful though, still beautiful. I spent a lot of time over here, especially in the Alice in Wonderland section. You see how beautiful it is, especially this over here. Probably should really think about putting a seating area though, an actual seating area, not just a picnic blanket. But yeah, overall, I love the aesthetic back here. It's cute, but again, I'm thinking about moving it at a later point. Just don't know where to, though. Then the real question is, what do I put here? Being that the theming's really challenging, being that it's a tropical forest here. So it's one of those, do I put some stuff from, like, Lion King over here? Or do I put Tangled? Like, what do I put over here? And that's my dilemma. That's truly my dilemma when it comes to moving this section. I like it because it fills out this area, but I don't know what to fill the area in if I decide to move it. But yeah, very gorgeous back here. Very gorgeous. Alright, and now we can move on to Storybook now. And now I can check out the fabulous shit we've done over here. Which I'm proud of the way this turned out. Like, especially the bind. The bind's my favorite section. I'm not even gonna deny that. The bind gives that feel of Beauty and the Beast vibe, that French courtyard vibe I was going for. But let's start over here with my house. So we have my favorite hangout section. Like, I'm gonna be honest, this is a very nice, tiny area I crafted here, and I'm very proud of it. Maybe I got too much snackage, on the countertops. Maybe I could add a little bit more decorated pieces. But other than that, I really like the way this turned out, especially with the clock and all this. Because at the time I was doing this, this is right when all the categorying furniture and stuff started popping in and out. Caddy corner. There we go. And then we have our little whale section here. Let me go ahead and feed this guy since he's standing right in front of me. But we have our whale section here. I made it into a reading nook because it seemed appropriate. We have our tiny garden. Very tiny garden, but still cute. Remy's restaurant. Again, another completely vibe all together. This gives more like a Bray pub feel. You know, something like a London pub. Love it though. Super cute. And then Scrooge's. I gave him another little yard. Again, being different from the one on Eternity Island. This one's got more fruits and veggies and stuff like that. And I paired him with Goofy stall. I almost called him something else. It was not Goofy though. It was not Goofy. Plus we have our library with our little tiny library reading nook. We have our Snuggly Duckling Tavern, so you can sit down and have a drink. We have our flower section. This was the best I could do since we could not bring Beast's little flower arrangement over here. So I decided to make this, and this actually turned out super cute. I even have a secret seating section here. I call it secret because you wouldn't notice unless you walked over here. I love it. Very cute though, very warm. I love the vibe here at the Bind. So we're gonna go this way now. And then we have our little party planning section here. And by party planning, I mean just, you know, gifts and stuff like that. And then we have another little hangout section here with the cauldron, which I'm thinking of putting that in the villain section. And then over here we have Gaston's gem, which I don't know why I gave him a gem, but he's got a gem. He's got a gem. Hell, he's even... Yes, you see that correctly. He even has a shooting range. I'm gonna walk away now and let y'all ponder that. Just walking away. Then we have this little beach hangout section. I kind of want to give that very, like, warm vibe of just hanging out on the beach, playing volleyball, you know, getting some smoothies and stuff like that. And of course, you know, just a little seating area, a little hangout area, like a tiny park. That's what I should really call it, a tiny park. It's just like a mini park on the beach. And then we have our villager houses, which I love this section. I do. I took pride making this section here. Shared backyards, the way everything is tied in together with the fencing. It is beautiful. And the colors as well, because, you know, we got like this section that's green. And then we have this section that's pink. And then this, well, this doesn't have a color, it's just flowers. Did my best with the tiny living situation I gave myself to work with. But mainly it's this fountain that's just my favorite centerpiece here. I absolutely love it though. It is one of my favorite little courtyards I've done. It's super cute, very inviting. Holy shit, he does. He does. I'm sorry. I got told that when Max comes around Vanessa, he growls. And funny enough, I've never had Max and Vanessa in the same room, so I've never been able to test that out. And no, he does. Huh. I didn't see that shit coming, Stitch, did you? Do it again, Max. He said no. But yeah, the little archways are cute. Definitely ties in the area.
Who's got the
And
best
then
neighbors in the valley? That's right.
you do,
You're
Musho.
looking at him.
You do. But then we have this little seating area here. It's very quaint, very cute. I just really wanted a place mainly for my vacuum. Oh yeah, take a look at this place at night now. And of course our bell. But as you can see at night, it is beautiful. You can see the glowingness from the cauldron back here. And then over here, not much lighting, but it's when you turn around, boom, that's just lovely, beautiful. A little candle, just a little bit of that rustic lighting vibe. Not oversaturated at all. These little bit of just glowiness from the windows is just the light I need. Gives it that sleepy town vibe, you know? And that's exactly the vibe I was trying to go for, though. Very Beauty and the Beast, very sleepy town. But yeah, just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And then we got all this lighting here. And I add a few pops of colors here and there, you know, especially when it comes to certain sections. Fireflies really tie that area in. Of course, back here, and then over here. You can see I use a lot of warm lighting. Definitely different compared to a lot of that blue and white I was using, especially in the valley. But yes, absolutely adore the bind. It's one of my favorite sections here at Storybooks, hands down. And then let's go up here to my second favorite section. So we have Eugene's house. I gave him his enormous pile of money. I couldn't really think of anything else to give him, to be honest. So I just gave him what he always wanted. That was his dream. We have our pathway to the trials. And then Rapunzel's house. I had to give her a full painting setup. I really did. Granted though, I like it. But I feel like there should be more factor, you know? And over here we have Beast's yard and a little hangout area. You'll see quite a few of these hangout areas. Very beautiful though, especially with the glowy flowers. And we have our market area. Nothing too crazy. Very tiny area. But back here is where the real magic's at. So we have our beautiful romantic seating area so you can stargaze up at the sky. A romantic dinner reservation so you can read and eat at the same time. A beautiful garden section. Oh, surprisingly, I don't have any books over here. I was gonna make a joke about that, but yes, we have our beautiful garden section, which is very whimsical, very magical. Mainly because of the piano with the rug and the lighting and stuff, just superb. And then back here, just, you know, a little details here and there, another little hangout section, and if you want to be a little, you know, sexy, you can take, I don't know why I have it back here, but yes, you can take a bath back here next to the waterfall. I don't know, I was just, couldn't think of anything to do with that tub, so that was the best I came out with. Then over here we have kind of our game section, as I like to call it. So we got our croquet area, where you can play croquet with the Queen of Hearts. And of course there is food, games, prizes, and stuff like that. Then of course we have her house and yard, which I love Merida's house and yard. Especially the food details. And the gathering around to read a story, beautiful. We have this little area, nothing too crazy. I just wanted to make our well section pop out. Then we have our locker room. Nothing too crazy back here, let's be frank here. It's just a locker room. Just trying to fill in the area. That's unfortunate with this entire area is, at the time, I didn't have the Mythopolis list all the way open, so I was trying to figure out something I could do to fill in this area, but was also different. I didn't have a game section. So I went with the game section. But we have our movie theater too, so in case you don't want to sit outside and watch it, you can come in here and watch it. You know, the VIPs. You know what? I blame Squid Games for all this, okay? I was inspired by Squid Games. I was watching way too many Squid Game things at the time. And then we have this area here, which I love this area. This is the Fairy Village. We have Tinkerbell's house, which is so adorable. All the little mushrooms and flower details. We have our elemental stones, another little fairy house. This little centerpiece, which I love. I had to go a little crazy with it, I'm not gonna lie. Our gazebo. Over here with this house. Love this yard, especially the diagonal placing I did here. Super, super cute. And then Fairy Godmother's house. Don't ask me why I went ham over here, but I went ham over here, and her yard is just overly beautiful and yet overly done at the same time. It's cute though, very cute. And then I think we have to carry on this way. We had the rest of our fairy slash evil villain lair. And mainly, again, I just didn't know how to fill in this area, so I went in with a lot of the fairy houses. Since we had a whole bunch of fairy stuff, we got a lot of fairy items. Tons of fairy items. But I'm not complaining, though. It looks real good over here, especially with my little fruit pasture. Hangout section with my crafting station back here. Another little fairy house, which, by the way, did y'all know the lights are blue? I could have sworn the lights were yellow at some point, but I don't really hang out near this house too terribly much at night, so I could just be misremembering. But we got our big guy here. You gotta see him at night all the way. Like, when I do the night tour, oh man, y'all love it. And back here's our evil villain section. We have our potions, snacks. Hey, evil villains get hungry too, you know. And then, of course, everybody's seating. Everyone has their own unique seating. We have Scar, we have Maleficent, Ursula, Jafar, Gaston. I want to say this one's Mother Gothels, and, God, who did I give this chair to? I gave it to somebody. I gave it to somebody. I just can't think of who I gave it to. But the point is, this is where all the evil villains gather. I got, like, the idea from Kingdom Hearts. You remember? Everyone sat down contemplating and shit like that. This is where I basically got the idea from. And then, of course, we had this little area here. Nothing too crazy. I really didn't know how to fill in this section. This is why I kind of want to move my evil villain section over here so I can have a very beautiful evil villain section. Well, let's take a, whoops, not the sound. Gander at night. As you can see, the mushrooms add just that factor I love. The bit of red contrasting very well with the blue. And of course the green. And then up here, like I said, him coming out the mountain here is just a beautiful sight. Oh dear God, I gotta pick up all this mess up. But yeah, over here is definitely beautiful. Definitely beautiful with all the lighting. I made it feel very light. Very, very light with what little lighting I use. And mainly is a lot of these mushrooms. These mushrooms are definitely where most of my lighting's coming from. And like I said, this is just so gorgeous. So gorgeous. So bright and vivid and magical. Like, I don't know how I made it so whimsical, but I made it so whimsical. Absolutely gorgeous back here. And then up here, now this one's not as cute. Not as cute because, you know, I didn't use as many mushrooms and stuff. But the lighting I did works. I used a lot of the white lighting. Kind of give it that, you know, stage appeal. Except back here. Back here we gave the red lighting for the Red Queen. Because this is her court after all. And then over here, as you can see, it's very beautiful here. That warm lighting from the candle lights with a bit of the lighting from these flowers. Of course, just the little trail of candles I have. And the blue lighting back here really contrasts very well with the pink and green and a lot of the warmer lighting I have. And back here, yep, still doesn't make it any difference. I still cannot tell you why I put a bathtub back there. I don't know. Maybe I was just thinking of one of those, like, I don't know, like razor commercials. Like, you've seen those razor commercials where they're straight up, like, in the middle of a waterfall shaving their legs. And it's just like, that's great to know, but why are you at a waterfall shaving your legs? But yeah, this is very nice with the tangle lighting. Not as bright as I would want it to be, but I think it contrasts very well to... Max, stop growling at her. Now you're chasing her. Man, don't be doing that, okay? We don't need a lawsuit right now. Anyway, as you can see, we got a couple of little pottery stuff here and there, which is super cute. And of course, Eugene's house. It's very adorable back here. Like I said, nighttime back here is like peak. It is peak. Alright, now we got one more section. Which is Mythopolis. So let's start at Mount Olympus and then work our way down. Thank you, Max. The thing's been bothering me for weeks now. So, this is our... To be frank, I'm not quite sure what this section is. It's originally, I started it off with Wally and E back here. This was the main section I was focusing on when decorating. I gave him a nice little reading area mixed with futuristic... Ah, crap, I'm stuck on something. Oh, that's what I'm stuck on. But a combination of futuristic with a rustic vibe. And of course, my Winnie the Pooh section looks very cute over here with him. And of course, Eve and Wally also have their little orchard back here. But yeah, this was my main idea, my main focus when I came over here to decorate. And coming over here, I was just like, well, what can I do? What can I start doing? So I just kind of started going with a courtyard idea, and then kind of combined a few different things I've done throughout the other two valleys. Which is a tiny amusement park, which we have our stage production, little seating area, which I'm so glad everybody's using the little Tonka truck seating area. It's so cute. We have our arcade area. Strike. Make-believe, and of course our Ferris wheel. And then we have our bakery area where you can sit down and sample some delicious treats. Fruits and veggie stands. Another little seating area, which my main focus again was this fountain, because I thought this was really, really cute. And I like the way this turned out. Like, dead ass, out of the three little areas I did here, this is the one I'm the most satisfied with. Because of how cute and simple it is. And then over here, this one's adorable, but what really sucks is I made this, and then literally a week later, the river kit showed up. And I was like, oh, come on. What is this with my luck? What is this with my luck? So I'm definitely going to have to rework this section. But it's super cute. It's very romantical is what the vibe I was going for. Then up here is just another little class of sections. We have, let's start over here, our Star Wars area. Which, I'm going to be honest, I like but I don't. I like this section here, but this fountain I want to change out. Because I found another one I liked a little bit better, but by the time I made this area and then found that fountain, I was like, it's too late. I'll wait till the whole valley restart to put that one down. But overall, though, it's super cute. Finally found something to do with the jacuzzi. Trust me, it's been a pain in the ass trying to figure out something to do with the jacuzzi, but we found it. Then back here we have our Guardian section. Or leading to Mulan section, I should say. Which is very cute. We have our little yard. Her sword. Little practice area. A place she can craft her weapons. And then, of course, planning and plotting. Very cute, though. Very cute. And then we have our camping section. I've been trying to make camping sections a thing in the valley, but every time I make one, I wind up just moving it and putting it somewhere else. But I like it here. I think it looks really cute. The good combination of the green grass with the yellow is very, very nice. I love just the way everything kind of fills out over here. I had to take some detail away because, you know, spacing problems. But overall, I like it. Also, my other little complaint, Game Loft, please, for the love of God, fix this. Fix this. I would like to rotate this, if that is possible, Game Loft. So please, my other small, minute gripe is fix the kites. Seriously, that's been two small, minute complaints. Fix the kite and fix those lamps. Because you just ruined my extended vibe, bro. You're ruining them.
You should be proud.
Then, over here we have kind of like a filler section. This is one of those I thought about it at the last minute kind of situations because I had the whole game section already put up in the Alice in Wonderland area. At this point, it was just like, fill in what I can. Just fill in what I can. But I liked it though. When it's something I created on the fly, I like it. We got the little up house. And unfortunately, we didn't do anything to bind because A, it's a pain in the ass decorating there, and 2, I don't go in there enough. So we're not worried about the bind, but we do have this here, just another little fairy section with a whale. A few garden pieces here and there. I'm thinking about getting that one Topia piece, the new one that just came in, the cactus, and putting it here. Of course, our crafting station. Our whale. And then just a little neighborhood. This is something we did Wednesday. We finished all this Wednesday. Now, our crafting house for our training dummies. We have Aurora's house over here. We have a cute little tiny backyard. Nothing too crazy. Because this is the only little section I was able to practice with the curve pathways. But it's super cute. And then we have... Hey, Willie, how's it going, man? Came at a... I wouldn't necessarily say good time. We're about to wrap up the Valley tour. But we have this little area here. It's more like an entrance area. I didn't know what to do with this. And again, because of my spacing problems, I had to kind of craft something that was open, but still full of detail, if that makes sense. And then here, we did this little restaurant area. I'm not 100% satisfied with it. I like the idea as a goofy, like, haha moment. Because mainly this, I mean, come on, I have a freaking fireplace in the middle of this area. But I like it though. It looks cute. It fit with the vibe, especially with the underworld vibe back here with Hades. My statues are moved, but you know what? It'll be alright. Oh yeah, Hades got a lovely little yard. I want to give him definitely more of a graveyard feel when I redo his house in the villain section. And of course, we have some more filler areas back here. Oh, let me feed this little guy real quick. There you go, little buddy. That's good to hear, Willie. That's good to hear. Glad all is well on this beautiful Friday. But we have this section here, which is where I took the picture Wednesday at. Which, again, you'll see I have a lot of party sections. I have a lot of party sections. And then, of course, just a little filler area. Nothing too crazy. But let's take a look at everything at night now. And as you can see, it is very nice back here. Not as bright or vivid as, say, you know, the Alice in Wonderland sections and stuff like that, but it is very beautiful back here. Especially a lot of the warm lighting that I combined it. Again, I'm just trying to get different feels for the lighting in each section, so it feels like a unique section every time you walk through. I love the warm vibes. I do. The warm vibes up here are very nice. Now, it's a different warm vibe compared to the ones at the Bind, because the one the Bind feels more like, you know, a countryside in the French Villa or something like that. But yeah, you can see this is just really, really nice at night. Very beautiful. Lots of lights, lots of color. In each section, like I said, I craft with care. Even though sometimes when I get done with it, I'm not 100% satisfied, or I just, you know, change my mind at some point. I still like it, though. I still like the way everything planned out.
Wow.
I just really wish I would have known about some of the stuff beforehand. Mainly looking at the river kit. I spent time working on this damn rug to make it look good. And then the river kit comes out of nowhere. But yes, I'm happy and satisfied with the way all three of these valleys turned out. All of them are super cute, lovely, lovely areas. Very unique. I do have some like samey areas. You know, we have a lot of party areas, a lot of hangout areas and stuff like that. But now that we have more areas unlocked and new stuff to play with, definitely going to have a lot of fun recrafting the valley from scratch yet again. But I might wait like a month or so, mainly because I want to enjoy the valley. Let's appreciate it for a bit, and let's see what may be coming up. Because I gotta check out that video that they say that they were gonna release sometime in the next month or two. It's something they did at one of the gaming conventions, and they said they were gonna let us know about the future upcoming stuff. I want to say that video has already been out, but I want to double check. I want to double check because I want to see if there's something else that we should look forward to. Some more valleys, some more sections, some more villains. Hopefully more villains. I really want more villains so I can make a really kick-ass villain section. Well, yeah, guys, that's actually it for the valley tour. We're officially done. That was all three valleys, all looking good. I'm sorry I wasted about 40 minutes of y'all's time cleaning up, but again, bad time management on my end. Bad time management. Well, let's sit down. We'll do about 10 photos of voting, and then we'll wrap up for today. But yeah, we've been at this for a couple of months now when it comes to the valley decorating. Which, let me relook at that. I feel like I may want to retake this photo. Like, I like the idea and the concept, but it's just, I've been looking at some other photos. Yeah, I'll worry about that later. Point is, we worked hard on the valley. I think it looks fantastic. We have over 21,000 hours? Is it 2,100? Or, wait a minute, wait. What's my timing on this? Hang on a second. Ah, 2,162 hours. That's how long I've been playing this game. This is the most hours I've ever synced into a game that's like this. 2,000 hours. Cute. Oh yeah, I forgot we're doing the rose and thorn thing. Gotcha, gotcha. Alright, we'll do left. Oh, look at this one now. I love the creativity behind this one. Super cute. And then this, you use a lot of the fairy stuff, but adorable. I'm gonna give it a left though. I like that room. That's a nice room. Alright, cute, cute. Very simple portrait. And then this one. Ah, the Aurora birthday cake quest. Fun. Look at the right though. Okay. I love the outfit. Because even though I'm making compliments about the rooms, it is the outfits, guys. Do not forget this is an outfit challenge. It's just the last few photos. The outfits have been on point. It's just been the backdrops. Unfortunately, with these two, neither one of these hit it. So we're gonna skip. Okay, this one's nice. That go-to outfit that everybody seems to like, which is a nice outfit. Don't get me wrong. It's a nice outfit, but I don't know. I'm not much of a warrior person, you know. I'll go left though. Oh, that one's nice. Now I love what you've done with the extra smoke effect. And then this one, cute, cute. But I gotta give it a left. Alright, ooh, you blotched out that photo a little bit, but okay. And then this one, nice, but I'm not feeling the criteria on either one of those. Alright, cute selfie. And then this one, okay, I like this. I've seen this go-to dress as a thorn dress, which can't really complain. It's the best you can do, especially if you don't have that actual thorn dress. Like this one. Like, you don't have it, that is definitely a good alternative. Alright, adorable. And then this one's also cute as well. I gotta give it the left though, the little extra detail with the horns. Those horns, man. Alright, ah crap, what are we on? Photo number 6? Or 7? Alright, cute. Alright, we'll go right. Alright, I like this setup now. This one's nice. That one's very nice. And this one also cute, but I gotta give it to the left. Alright, we'll do about 2 more photos and then we'll wrap up for today. Alright, I like the little setup you got. Your outfit. You did your best you could with that damn hat. Like, seriously, I do find it a little ridiculous that that's the only Sleeping Beauty outfit that you can have for bonus tag was that ugly hat. We'll go right. I like the outfit and all that right. Alright. And then this one. Same Z split shot. And then this one, that one. That one's good. I'm gonna go left. I'm gonna go left. Alrighty. Well, guys, that was definitely a fun, fantastic video today. I know it was a Valley tour, but at this point, you know, it is our Decorating Fridays, and we have nothing else to decorate except inside the houses, which we will continue on next week. I just figured, you know, this week we take a break since we've been at this for several months now, and we finally finished. But let's go ahead and start wrapping things up for today. Whoops, wrong one. Huh, this is not Phasmo Hour. There we go. Sorry, guys, I hit the wrong one. This is not the Phasmo Hour. Alright, guys, but I hope you'll absolutely enjoy the Valley tour. I know it was a little chaotic in the beginning half because of the cleaning. Don't worry, I'll probably cut that out. when the video gets done processing and all that shit, so I don't bore you all with the 40 minutes of cleaning. Yeah, again, guys, I apologize. Bad time management on my end. But let's go ahead and start wrapping things up for today. I hope everybody who has watched, is watching, will watch. I hope you enjoy. I hope everybody has a fantastic and wonderful night. And guys, don't forget, if you enjoy my Disney Dreamlight content or any of the other fun, fantastic things I do here on the channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below, hit that notification bell and all that fun jazz, because you never know what's going to happen here. Trust me, I never know. I try my best to keep you up to date with the scheduling, but you know what? I suck at time management, apparently. I suck for hardcore. I do know next week, though, we're going to have some Infinity Nikki videos up for you guys. I got a whole bunch of them already readied up and ready to go for you guys. It's just trying to figure out which ones to upload first. We also got our Reset Wednesdays as per usual. Our Phasmo Thursday should be as per usual. And Friday we'll start with decorating inside the houses. And, you know, kind of go from there. Give us about a month or so, and then we'll do a full valley takeover right after the next star path. I feel like after the next star path, that would definitely be a good time to, you know, start restarting and recontextualizing everything. But that's a story for a different day. So until then, my friends, y'all take care. Have a blessed weekend, and I'll see y'all Wednesday with some more Disney Dreamlight Valley.
Oh, this valley is swell.